Alrighty, I'm in one of my favorite spots. Got the Garrett Ace with me. This is a park, but I asked a dude that works for the park, got permission to metal detect this. So this might be a good day, I don't know. But this is jaw dropping. Just hold on a second. It's the Ohio River Valley. I'm on top of a hill. That factory up there would be formerly Canalco, which would have been turned into Ormat. You can see the river barges there parked in behind it. I think they have oil and gas activity and some small businesses in here. You see the highway down there. There's a lock and dam that way. There's a barge getting ready to go through the locks there. A bridge behind it going to the town of New Martinsville. That's what we're looking at. Hopefully I can get some stuff today with the detector. This is mostly what the hilltops I climb and metal detect look like, that right there. Just wooded for miles and miles in that direction. Just who knows what's on these hilltops. There's Indian sites all over. There's one right on that point over there. You can see the knob there. There's flint all over it. It's real good in there by Ormat, but it used to be. They screwed the bank up by dumping stuff in it. It's a site I looked years ago, but nothing to do there now. I don't even walk it anymore. Not all the shoreline's good anymore. That's for sure. I'm losing sites every year to look. Dumping gravel in and stuff and it'll never wash out. Concreting it. I think I'll probably be the last generation that'll be able to find points like I do on the river. It's about done. Maybe 20 years left. Better get them while you can. But we're going to go down this little mowed patch here out on this point looking down the river. I don't care about silver coins really. I'm in places like this looking for trade tomahawks, brass arrowheads, trade arrowheads. It's hard to tell what's on these hilltops. I'd say most of the stuff's deep, but who knows. I'll get back at you with anything I find. Later. It's just modern clad, it's a penny. It was ringing up good, but I'm going to get away from this. I could find money here all day, I assume, but I'm not into digging modern clad. If it's not silver or a real, at least 100-year-old coin, I can care less. I'll get back at you. There's a real nice big rock shelter down here. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Just stay tuned. I'll come up with something better. Later. Alrighty, we're going to walk down into a place here in the woods. Get the Garrett Ace with me. There's some pretty interesting stuff down here. There's the river down there, you can see it. Way down in the valley, I'm way up on a mountain. Probably something living back in there. See these rock faces in the river. Look in the river. This piece, it's come down. There's lots of Indian activity here, but I don't agree with digging into a rock shelter unless you're trained to dig into a rock shelter. Some of these places here you could dig on with a team of people that knew what they were doing for the rest of your life. Just going in and hammering it and even box sifting it, you're destroying a lot of stuff. But look at this. This is huge. How much this rock weighs, who knows? Been a perfect place to make a little camp right in. You start a fire. You'd be warm no matter how cold it was back in there. I know there's artifacts right there where I walked. They're down 3 or 4 feet. See over the edge of that. I found arrowheads on the side of this bank in the summer when the leaves are off. And there's fire rock down the edge of this, so I know there was activity here. For sure. Real cool moss on this. There's ferns growing on top of it. There's a layer I've been on top at. I was looking for petroglyphs. It's like its own little ecosystem up there, just on a pedestal. It's really cool. Last time I was on it, there was a little toad up there. How we got up there, I don't know. Probably a good spot for him. This is beautiful. Up here, I'd rather be doing nothing else. It's like 60 today. Couldn't ask for a nicer day. It's windy. And it's been raining, but it's good enough for me. I like doing this by myself too. Just take your time and look at this. Of course, there's been a lot of stuff dumped over this, but I really assume that there's so much stuff here under these rock faces that it's like the Meadowcroft rock shelter. There's some petroglyphs up in. I'm not climbing up in there today, it's too wet. Up in that cove up there in the rock. They're not much, they're just straight lines, but I would guess they're Indian. You can look at this, it's unreal. There's so much stuff here that they need to get a team of archaeologists in here and excavate this and start before someone robs it. I would never dig into this. See, look at that cut up there. There's a platform up on that. You'd just be safe as can be up there. There's several of them. They're almost like the rock cuts in the southwest where they had the houses on the side of the rock cliff, and there's ways up into them. It's unreal. There's like a little window there on that side. I've been in that one too, but you can see it's rained and we got some thawing. It's not a place that I want to climb up to today, and I got on these slick boots. I'll fall and break my neck, and I don't want to do that today, being by myself. I very rarely take anybody with me, but when I do, I'll bring some ropes and get back up in that in a further video. It's hard to tell what's up here to metal detect. I'm just carrying my detector now so I can film this. I don't know if I can get down in. There's some real odd piles of rocks down here on a point, and I think they're Indian. I think it's a stone mound right on a point. It could be rock piled in from like a farmer or something, but I don't really see too much agricultural stuff going on up here on this flat where it's at. Get my metal detector hung up on vines. There we go. This is a cool rock over here, but look at this rock face. And of course, a lot of this stuff's come down. You can see how much stuff's come over the top of it and laying in here. You'd almost have to bring an excavator in to get enough material off to get down to the Indian layer. But out in here and over the edge of this lip, there's fire rock. So I'd say this place is loaded. I'd say there's so much stuff here on this flat that it'd blow your mind. But I'm not going to be the one to find it. I don't dig in places like this. I think it's wrong. I only dig stuff that's eroded out of the bank and is going to be destroyed. You know, a lot of these stone slabs have been here for a long time. And there's one of them, I found evidence of burning on it. And it was old burning. I'm not sure if this is the one or not. It's got leaves on it now. I'd say Indians sat on some of these and looked right down on the river. You can see miles in that direction and miles in that direction. This would have been a perfect outpost. I will use the detector here, but I would assume, unless you have a real deep metal detector, I don't assume that there's going to be a lot of stuff found. But right here, I would say, is the main occupation place in this rock shoulder. I know this looks wet here, but there is a natural spring coming out right from under this rock face. It's just rainy now. It's cold, crystal clear water. You can see this. This is beautiful. There'd be so much stuff in this, and it hasn't been dug. And to dig it would be a sin to me. See, there's still some, but wow, this is just what it's about. The stuff, you know, I'd say you're looking at 8 feet of dirt on top, at least. And this is hard packed stuff. You'd have to have some equipment to even get down to where you could start excavating it. It'd be back-breaking work. You'd have to have 10 people in here to even get any of this. But I'm going to detect under here. I know there was people up in this till, you know, there's a piece of metal right there. It's an old cap off something. Damn, I'm getting soaked. But I'll show you a little bit more of this. This is one of my favorite spots. I'll get a coffee and come up here, or a couple at the McDonald's drive-thru, and just come up here and sit on a rock and watch boats go by. I have for years, especially this one over here on that point there. It's got beautiful ferns growing all over it. We'll look at that on the way back, but I'll sit on that and just look out over the valley, drink my coffee. This goes on and on all the way around, but this is, I think, right here is the main occupation spot. It's the nicest spot of it. It's all dry back up and under there. I bet you that's just, I bet you couldn't imagine what's in there. And you get into a place like this and start digging, there could very well possibly be Indians buried right in there along that rock face. And I don't agree with that either. Unless you're working for a museum and you don't want to disturb where people were buried. How would you like it if 1,000 years from now somebody came in and dug up your casket and was showing your skull at a museum? It wouldn't be too cool if you look at it that way. I've never found human remains, never found bones, because of the places I look, it's all gone. I do find some bone stuff, but they're on village sites and they're in shell middens. The clam shells and the mussel shells, the calcium preserves the bone, and you can find it that way. I have a few turtle shell bowls and stuff like that, and a bunch of bone awls and needles and stuff like that out of them. That crack there, if you climb up on that, it goes way back in. I didn't climb into it because the rocks are loose, but you could climb into it. I had a Bic lighter on me when I climbed up there the last time, and when I'd torch it at the opening to crawl back into, it'd blow it out. There's that much air coming out of it. So there's a cave there, but I'm not climbing into that. You can see how loose those rocks are. You get crushed back in there, no one would ever find you. I'm gonna turn this off so I don't bust my ass. It's hard holding this and holding this detector. I got the Garrett Ace with me today. I don't know if this is county property. I asked one of the county workers, it's like a foreman, he's the head honcho of all the workers. I asked him if I could metal detect out here, and he said they've been letting people come in the parks and it's okay. I can do whatever I want with the detector. But this needs to be excavated by an archaeology team. It's where this is at above the river and how massive this rock shelter is. This goes way back in too. It's filled. There's a lip here, and this goes back in. You can see here. You're not even seeing crap of what this is. See, it goes way back under there. I'd say the main occupation of the rock shelter, this was the ceiling. So most of the stuff's back in under here. If you could just get to it. You can see how beautiful this used to have. You can see how this stuff's peeling off. This used to have some charring on it. I've been coming to places like this since I've been a kid. I used to live pretty close to this, and I hiked through the woods when I was 10 years old. And it used to have a lot of charring up here, but it's all popped off now. I think what happened is above us, they rerouted some water, and that's why it's coming over here now. I think this was always dry when I was a kid. You can see that dip there. That's where the spring comes out. You can see where it's run down over there. There'd have been a fresh water supply here, and this would have been a fortified location. Well, I'll get back at you. I'm going to detect. If I find anything, I'll get it on video. I'm sure there's some coins laying in here. I found up on the top up there, I didn't even film it, I probably found $5 or $6 worth of modern clad and some older quarters, but no silver. I'll get back at you later. Alright, I'm using the detector down in here now, and that's the rock I drink coffee on sometimes. See how pretty it is. But I was getting some pretty good hits here. I'll show you. And I dug down in here. I started digging it up because I was getting bouncy signals. Right here you can see the edge of the lid of a mason jar. Right here in this thing. I think there's a coin in here too. Maybe more than a coin. It's right at the base of this real old tree. See here. And the rock shelter right behind. Who knows what's in here. What this is. Yep, that's the lid of a mason jar, an old one. Take that with us. But let's see what we got here. Let me get my digger. Something right there. Right there someplace. Right there. Huh. It looks like a V-nickel. It's pretty worn. Yep, it is. Man, it's in pretty nice shape. 1910, I believe. It's worn, but man, it's in nice shape. It's really worn now. We'll go back over this hole. There might be a mason jar there with more coins in it. I'll see if there's any more hits. We'll see here real quick. That's a decent find. Let me go through this again with the detector. Let's put this. See, it's going off still. Thought there was a higher tank in here someplace, but I don't have my glove on. This sucks. I don't want to get all filthy today. You know, that's metal there. Yeah. piece of metal off that mason jar. You can hear it, there's still stuff in there. I'm gonna run the detector over it, I'll get back. That's not a bad find, it's only a couple $1 coin. I'll get back later. There was another coin in there. There's nothing else. I found the glass. I found the metal off the mason jar lid, and this piece was under a piece of iron, like a washer. I pulled the washer out, started getting like an 86 repeating, and it's a Merc dime, and it's from the 1940s. I think it's 1941, but it's in pretty nice shape. 2 coins right there out of this little hole right by this big rock. Right below this rock shoulder. Unreal. I didn't expect to find much today. I've dug a lot of coins, but nothing silver. At least one silver there. I don't think these V-nickels aren't silver. I don't know. But both of these coins are in nice shape. That's odd that one's from the early 1900s and the other one's from the 40s. But I think there used to be a farm out here. Maybe a farmer had them and a kid buried them in the 40s. Who knows? Probably kids played around these rocks just the same as I did when I was a kid. Well, I'll get back. I'm going to try to walk out of here. It's starting to rain on me, and you can see it's really overcast and nasty today. But at least it's warm. I'm going to go up and metal detect in easier spots where I was finding all the money earlier. Later, I'll be back if I find anything. I'm walking out of here, and I just walked up on a big band here. Wonder what this is. Looks like probably a cow band. See, it's a cow band. You see where the mice been gnawing on it, but that's kind of cool. I'm glad it's not a human leg band. We'll just put that right back here where it's at and let the mice eat that. I found a lot of deer sheds up here. Hopefully I can walk up on a big one. I found a real big one up here when I was a kid, and then found the matching set. Came back and walked all over the place, found the matching set way down the hill on another flat. But hopefully I can walk up on something good. I'll get back at you. It's just nice to be out in the woods today, walking around. If you don't have a metal detector, you need to get this Garrett Ace. I usually find something I just found 2 coins. I found many, but 2 old ones. If you can get out in the woods and get permission to get on places, that's what you want. You know, I know there's lots of other good metal detectors, but this is what I'm using, and I'm having great success with it. Later. Alright, I'm back. This looks funny. I would say this is natural. You can see this. This is pretty cool, though. Look at this. Right here. This is very funny. It looks like nutting stones, but I would say that what's happened is pieces falling down, and you can see some of them go back in there like that. I'd say this is from water dripping off that rock face. It's a sandstone, so I would say this is water. A lot of people would think this is something, but I'd say this is a natural formation. But boy, it is cool. And you can see this is all rock piled up, and then this rock's been here for a long time, thousands of years, I would guess, laying here. I bet you there was Indians in that. You know, you could make a roof on that, put some leaves and stuff on it, and earth, and you'd have a home. And I bet you there's stuff in that. Just because of where we're at. Not all places like this have it, but you can see right there's the Ohio Valley, and we're on a point. And you can see miles. I don't even know how far you can see up that way. Good 7 miles anyway. And then when you get out on this point, you can see further down the river, probably 10 miles that way. This had to have activity like pretty much forever. It's straight up and down too. Nobody's gonna be able to get you from the front. You'd have that rock face at your back. It'd be a pretty fortified location. Well, there you go. I wanted to show you that rock. That's pretty cool. I wish I could have that at my house, in my yard. You could stick that up like this. It's a long, thin stone, and it'd have all that stuff on it. It'd look great at the end of a driveway or something. But I guess that's where it needs to stay, so other people can enjoy it. See all this rock down. This is beautiful. Well, I'll get back at you. I'm going up on top of Moundy, take some more later. I just dug another one of these old mason jar lids in here. Man, there's nothing around this, but I'm picking up this seal. It's like 10 or something. It's ringing up a 70, and I thought it might be, well, I don't know if it was a 70. I can't even, it was good enough to dig, and it was repeating. But man, I hope some of it, see, there's the hole. It's a flat piece of metal, and you can see it there. Man, it's preserved nice too, and it has to be old being in here where I'm at. You know, I wonder how all these got here. It's a genuine mason. It's an old one. It's perfect. That's the second one I've dug down here. Maybe I'll find one with honey. That'd be nice. But I'm gonna keep detecting. I'm getting hits down here. You know, hopefully I can come up with something good today. Later. I'm in and around an old foundation. It's very old, but got a high 90s hit over here. I don't know what the high 90s hit is. Well, right here's probably what it is. Looks like, what the heck? It's a lid off some kind of an old jewelry box or something. By God, that looks like it's maybe possibly silver plate. But while I was digging it up, found a marble in here. It's pretty cool. And it's got some cool colors on it, but look at this. Looks like it's silver plate. You can see the silver there. This is the second one of these I've found today in this area. Let me see if I can get this other one out here. Also found this thing. There's a bell. It's like off of a ringer. Probably off an old phone. Found this in here. Stainless steel injector blades. But I got another lid off like a little case too. It's got hinges there. There's a lot of stuff in here. I'll get back at you later. I just got a real old wheat in here. I kicked it out. The foundation's up there, and I got a mid-80s, but this is an old one. It's got that real nice green patina, and it's a weedy. It's an early 1900 one. That will clean up nice. It's got that real deep hunter green looking, and it looks like 1915. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yep, it's 1915. Right on the surface, man. That ain't even bad. Later. Wow, you gotta be kind of impressed with this. It's a big steering wheel off something. Man, that's old. This is all, it was all ringing up all the way around it. I don't know if this is off an old tractor or nothing, but I'm taking it. That's cool. Wow. Alright, later.